All right, so tonight I found some time and I'm gonna go ahead and do some polishing on these cases from the engine, cam cover, transmission cover, primary cover. I've done a little bit. Let me show you a little bit of what's going on here. Got a bench grinder out, just getting to work. Show you what's up. All right, so if you haven't been following along, I'm building this Dyna budget build project that I got going on. And I am trying to bring it back to life as best as I can with as little bit of money as I can. A lot of know-how, some tools, and some time in the garage is really what's going to separate and make this either flop or succeed. So let me show you where it's at right now, and then I'll show you what we're doing over here with some polishing on the bench. All right, so I have been a little busy, if you can't tell, and I have gone ahead and removed something. You can tell there's something missing right here, right? Well, there it is right there. So what I did, if you haven't seen already, go back and watch the other videos. I've gone through and I've degreased inside of here, 20 years of gunk down inside of the engine case and all that. Pressure washed it and got this entire thing nice and clean. There are a few small areas, but I have been busy, and you can tell I have taken off covers. Cam cover, transmission cover. I have not yet taken the top cover for the transmission, but let me show you the reasons why I have taken those off. Here's the primary cover. If you've been following along, I've kind of been hinting and saying that I was going to go ahead and do some polish work on these things and see what I can do to bring them back to life. You can tell right here, I hit it with a little bit of just hand polish, and I just hit it with my fingers and a terry cloth towel, and you can see it brought some of it back to life. I saw this, got excited, and I thought, well, what can a polishing wheel do if that's what it does? So I decided to dive in and go ahead and take the covers off because, one, I wanted to inspect what was going on inside of a couple of these areas, and I'm going to go ahead and polish them up. So kind of two birds with one stone. This is the current condition of them. Let me show you, and all the covers were like this, the cam cover, the transmission cover. They are 20 years of neglect and nobody polishing them, sitting outside in just time. So let me show you what I've been busy with over here, over on the bench. This is what we're now working with. You can see there is a nice difference between this cam cover and this primary cover. This cam cover did look like that primary cover. So I have spent a little bit of time. I didn't go nuts. I kind of almost just gave it a once-over, both the transmission cover as well as the cam cover. You can see that I kind of stopped and I left this spot dull right here. I have not touched that spot of the cam cover. So you can see there is, you know, some oxidation, just neglect. And this is what the entire cam cover looked like. So just kind of once over, just gave it a quick hit with the polishing wheel and some compound. And you can see, definitely brought it back to life. Now, I'm going to go on these a little bit more and see if I can't get a little bit more shine, maybe some of these scratches out. But again, this is a budget build. It's not a show bike, and it doesn't need to be extremely polished. So I'm going to get a nice shine in comparison to what it was, and I will be totally happy with that. Obviously, it is much better than what it was when they came off of the bike. These covers here, actually, some of them have some nicks and scratches. You can see something was rubbing up against it, an exhaust or something of that sort. So they're not like the most perfect things. You can see some other bolts and stuff where somebody bolted up the exhaust was hitting right inside of here. So I really want to bring them just back to life and give them a nice, good look. And I'll replace and put all new gaskets on them, of course, when I go reinstall them. I'm going to polish this out a little bit more. I'm going to get some polishing compound on this wheel. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how this works. All right, now a couple things on these wheels really quick. If you've never used one of these, throw caution. They spin very fast, and there's no guard or anything on them, okay? But when you use one of these, you really want to kind of let the wheel do the work. You're going to apply a little bit of pressure up against the part up against the wheel, but you kind of want to let the wheel do the work. It's spinning so fast that its job is to buff and polish and bring this back to a shine. when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're touching the surface of the wheel here with the part, okay? And what that means is when you're running the part through it, you're going to have to kind of roll it with the part. If there's a curve here, like this is here, you got to roll the part all the way around it. If there's a curve that's inside of here, so you can kind of see that there's like indentations, you got to get this and roll it inside of here and get it at different angles and get it polished inside of there. So imagine this just being your hand spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and you just rubbing. You just really have to work this in there, and you have to just play with your cover and just kind of manipulate it around the wheel. Remember, the wheel doesn't move, this thing moves. So just go with the crevices, go with the flows of it, and kind of let the wheel do the work. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a second. Alright, so you'll add a little bit of the compound kind of directly to the wheel as it's spinning, and then you're just going to maneuver the part just kind of around the wheel itself. A little bit of compound kind of goes a long way. So I'm just going to kind of keep it in an area, move the part in that area, back and forth, and just kind of work the part into the wheel. Kind of let the wheel do the work. You're just there to kind of hold the part and let the wheel flow into the crevices of where it's got to go. All right, well, what do you think? A little bit better. There are some scratches in there, but this is not a show bike. I could probably hit it with another wheel, but compared to what it started at, that's a success. I'll hit it with some polish, get all the little finger marks and stuff off of it. Transmission side cover. And you can see what we started with. This, and this, used to look like that. What I'm going to do on the primary cover right now is I'm going to go ahead and polish, I think just start with this half here. And then I'll just give you a little quick, hey, here it is in the middle. I'm going to take this cover off. I have another one for it anyway that I'm going to put on. So I'll take it from, I'll probably polish it from this point this way and give you guys a little before and after. Let me get this on the bench grinder. Good old polishing wheel has been busy. A little before and after. So you can definitely tell a difference between the two. Now, on close, detailed inspection, yeah, there's scratches in the primary. There's nicks. There's gouges. There's scratches from the buffing wheel right now. You know, you can go finer grade and other compounds. To be honest with you, this is 100 times better than that. This is not a show bike. It's not intended for any of that. It's just going to be a clean, well-built, put back together early model Dyna. So I may hit it with another wheel, but honestly, for the results and just cleaning it up, I might be all right with just the way that it is. Clearly, night and day difference. You can see where we stopped, and you can see where we got to go. For these here, I am undecided if I'm going to go ahead and take these off to polish them, or if I'm going to see if I can just hit them by hand and see what I can do to bring them back to life by hand. But I am undecided. These came out really nice, obviously, when I hit them with the polishing wheel. So those aren't going to be seen as much, but we shall see. All right, so I'm going to finish this piece up and just get it all finaled. And then just set these up on the shelf for now until they're ready to go in. Going to get some new gaskets for them. If you've been following along, this hasn't cost me much at this point. It's cost me borrowing some machine from my friends, some compound, some time in the garage. So if you are willing to get your hands dirty and attempt stuff, even if you don't know how to do it, you can do this stuff in your garage on a budget. You need some tools, you need a little bit of know-how, some knowledge, some understanding, but it's definitely doable. So I'm going to get back to work. Follow along. If you haven't checked out any of the other episodes, any of the other series of this Dyna budget build, go check them out. I'm just doing bits and phases and pieces of it. I'll be doing the bar job, and I'll be doing the fairing and all kinds of stuff that's going to be going on this bike. So stay tuned, keep it locked. Make sure you hit the notification bell and the subscribe button. All right, later.